how they got on in the dressage arena. What about our Olympic team in Sydney? Michael Peschardt brings us this latest report from Down Under.
Good afternoon. This country really does have the feel of an Olympics. The 19 horses in the British team are just completing their time in quarantine. The Australians are desperate to keep equine influenza out of the country, and that's dictating much of what is going on at the moment. But the first obstacle, the journey, has at least been cleared. And that journey for the horses was a 30-hour marathon flight in specially made cargo boxes. For some, it was their first flight, but it was the horse equivalent of first class, and the constant care and attention has apparently paid off.
We were delighted how the horses did travel over. We'd taken a lot of precautions and pre-planning. We had some wide stalls, and the aircraft, we kept it very cold, which encouraged the horses to eat. And if they eat, then they drink, and then they don't get dehydrated.
The first batch of horses arrived in Sydney after dusk. The jet engines, the cranes and equipment, all unsettling and alien. The British horses have spent 2.5 weeks in quarantine before leaving and have to spend another 2 weeks in similar conditions here. But by the next morning, they were already recovering.
I think all the English horses came off the plane very well. They're not used to standing on a plane for 30 hours, so it's a little bit difficult. But they seem to have come out on top, so keep the fingers up.
The Olympic course itself, 25 miles west of the Sydney city centre, was British designed, and we were able to have a sneak preview from Mike Etherington-Smith. This, the first water obstacle.
Come down quite a steep hill. The first part of the course is quite undulating. They come over the crest, down the slope to the staggered logs, where they can pick their own distance to come in and jump in. There's quite a decent log coming in with a fair old drop into the water, 4 to 6 inches of water, keep the pace through, because obviously coming out of the water here is quite a big step, which then bounce up and go straight on over the curved rail before heading on through the cutting towards the other side of the ridge.
The course is 7,500 metres long. Fence 13 is halfway round.
It's really what we call the main water obstacle on the course. Big log in, slightly different question to the previous water fence, through the water, up the step, and then keeping the impulsion going to come up and jump the lighthouse here, which will have a little bit of a proper roof put on it, back onto the other side, down the slope, back into the water, and then kick on and jump. Actually, a big old brush fence coming out just to finish the whole job off.
13 minutes is the optimum time. The first part of the course is undulating, the second fairly flat. Over the next few days, these will be some of the most pampered horses in the world. Regular massages to get them over their journey and only light exercise. No other event poses such logistical problems. The course has been designed both for the world's best and those not so used to this level of competition.
I think overall the severity of the course, I'm very pleased with the way it's turned out. Sure, we're still making 1 or 2 minor adjustments at the moment. But I think, you know, that it's got a good feel, a good flavour, plenty of questions, and hopefully the best team will come out on top.
Well, at least the horses are all safe and fit. Not such good news, I'm afraid, on the riders, because Rodney Powell has broken his ankle. Lucinda Green, who's on the board of selectors, joins me now. And Lucinda, where does that leave our Olympic bid?
Well, not as bad as it might be, because Ian Stark has Arakai, who will probably now go into Rodney Powell's place, as well as him riding JB in the team. But for Rodney's point of view, I can't believe it. That is seriously bad. Like, he'd even stopped riding his bicycle. He was so determined to keep himself right, and he was fit and ready to go. And it's really bad news for him.
A really bad start then, but we hope that everybody can keep safe and sound between now and the start of the eventing competition in 2 weeks' time. Full coverage, of course, on the BBC. Let's now concentrate on events here at Burghley and what happened in the dressage. Lorna Clark can tell us.